Okay, so today I think I'm going to make it possible to die and also win, and also be able to restart the level, and also be able to go to new levels. So I'm just going to start the server real quick. So this is what we had last time. We made a bunch of icons and also a health bar. Wait a minute. Okay, that's a bug. Let me just fix that real quick. So, when we click, we have to adjust this to the camera. Okay, let's try this now. Okay, still not working. Seems almost worse, actually. Maybe this needs to be plus instead of minus. There we go. Anyways, you can see now that we're out of health, but we're not dead. So that needs to be fixed. We need some sort of menu screen. Or like, to automatically restart when you die. Where should I put this? I guess we can say if player dot health is less than or equal to 0, then we call some sort of restart function. However, this is a function we would need to write. So down here, we'll just have function restart, and we'll reset all of the variables to where they were initially. So we need to get rid of all the radar objects. So radar objects dot splice, then we want it to start at 0, and we want it to delete as many elements as there are radar objects. So it'd say radar objects dot length. So that will reset the radar objects list. And then we want to reset the player. So we'll just say player equals new player. Then we'll set it to the default. say 100, 100, and what is the player's altitude? Where is it? 0.2, okay. And 0.2. Then we'd have to reset them. Actually, you don't have to reset the camera. That'll reset itself. And then we would have to remove all the particles. So we can do particles.splice. Then do the same thing as for the radar objects. So radar objects.length. So now what we have to do is get all our health deleted. Somehow. Okay, there's an issue. Okay, what's the error? Invalid assignment to const player. Okay. So I guess we can do, where is it? We can just do let player. And then we can restart. Come on. Okay. So it looks like we are successfully restarting. However, it doesn't look like we're restarting correctly. Yeah, I think those missiles are like way too powerful. So let's just do the missiles. Let's just have it explode with a power of 150, let's say. That still seems kind of a lot. Let's make it 100. That certainly seems more reasonable, but I feel like the explosion is spreading out a lot. So if we were to do the explode thing, let's divide this by 50. Yeah, that seems more reasonable. Ah, that's so satisfying. Just can't not do it. Anyways. We'd also need some sort of menu screen. So I guess what we can do is else if menu screen and then we'll have some sort of menu screen variable. So where should I put that? Stick it here. Let menu screen equal true, because we want to start the game on the menu screen. However, we would want it to start loading once we click the play button or something. However, I guess we can, let's just comment this out for now. So that won't generate any terrain. So I guess we are on the menu screen now. I also don't want it to ask for any radar data, so I'll have to figure out where that is. Here it is. So I don't want to do that yet. Forgot to switch back to the code. Sorry about that. So you need some sort of play button. So I guess we can stick that in the middle of the screen. So we can do fillRect. That will create a rectangle. And where should we have it? Maybe c.width over 2 minus c.width over 16. And then the y will be c.height over 2 minus c.height over 16. Then the width will be c.width over 8, and the height will be c.height over 8. And we also want to give it a fill style. So let's do draw.fill style, and we'll make it red. So you should now see a rectangle, which we do. So that's good. So then we would need to draw some text on it. So we would do draw.fill fill text, then we'll have it do play, and then for the x and y, we'll just do c dot width over 2 and c dot height over 2. Then what we can do is draw dot text align, set that to center, and then that will align it to the center. And then we can do draw dot text baseline, and then set that to middle. So then it will draw from the middle of the text. Oh, and we would also want to set a fill style. I mean, like set a color. So draw dot fill style equals, and we'll have it be white. Okay, so you can see it. I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's pretty tiny. So we need the to set a font. So you can do draw dot font equals, I don't know, 32 pixels. Let's just do Arial for now. You can pick a different font later. I think setting the text size to a constant is a bad idea. So this should probably be the screen width divided by an arbitrary value, which we can change. Okay, let's make it bigger. Okay, so that's definitely better. So now we would have to actually choose a font. So I'm just going to do fonts.google.com and just look for one that looks good, I guess. Guess if you see one you like, let me know. Let's try this one. So I can copy this and stick it into the index.html, and that will import the font. So then here I can say Noto Sans. Then you'll be able to see that in the game. And that still doesn't look very interesting. I personally quite like Railway. And it still looks uninteresting. Maybe sans serif isn't the way to go. Okay, that certainly looks more interesting. I think we can make this bigger, actually. Yeah, there we go. So now that I think of it, I don't really think that doing a button in JavaScript is a good idea. So I think I'm going to have a menu. So I'll have a div, then the ID will be menu, and then I can stick a button, and then I can say play. So then I would need a CSS file. So let's do style.css. Then I can copy all of this in there, because that is CSS code. Then I can do link href equals style.css, and then I would have to say that it is a style sheet, and it is CSS. So then what I can do here is I can select a button. Actually, I should probably select the menu first. So menu. Then I would say that the position is absolute, and then it is at the top corner of the screen. And it is the size of the screen. So then, this is where it gets tricky. I need to center everything to the middle, which is actually kind of difficult in CSS. So I need to set the display to a flex. I need to set the display to flex, and then I actually don't remember how to do this, so I'm gonna look it up. So I believe I would need to copy this. However, I'm not really sure because CSS is really weird and annoying. But I guess we can try it though. Oh, and it worked. So now there's a play button in the middle. So now I need to actually make the play button look good. So I can do button and select the button. Then I need to set the background color to maybe transparent. So it will have no background. And then I need to set the border to how do I set a border? I've forgotten a lot of CSS. Border, CSS. Okay, 5 pixels solid red. So I need to do this. So I need to do the thickness. So that'd be 2 pixels. Then I want it to be solid. So it'll be just a normal line and not like a dotted line or something. Then I need to set a color. So I'll just do white. So you can see there's a button here now. However, you can't really see the text, so I need to do color, white. So you can see the text now. Then I would need to make the text size. So text, actually I think it's font size. Font size, and that would be, say, 1 VW. Okay, 1 VW might be too small. Let's do 5. Ah, yes. So now what I can do is set the padding to maybe 2 VW. It looks like, hold on. Okay, never mind. My preview was doing some weird stuff, and I thought it wasn't sending the edges of the play button, but I guess it is. Never mind. So yeah, I can set the padding to to VW, and that will make the border a bit farther away from the text. So then I can do border radius, and then set that to maybe 4 pixels. Then that will give the edges a nice rounded corner. Then I think I can actually make this a bit bigger. The radius a bit bigger, I mean. Okay, that seems pretty good to me. So then I would want to set different properties if the mouse is hovering over the play button. So I can do button colon, no, that would be colon hover, I think. Or is it just colon hover? I think it's colon hover. Whatever. Anyways, so I would want to set the background color to some other color, like RGBA red. Then we can have that have a transparency of 0.5. So now if I hover, it'll turn red. However, that doesn't look very nice. So I need a transition time. So I can do the star will select all elements, and we'll do transition duration, and we'll set that to 0.2 seconds. Yeah, so that looks significantly better. However, I think that should be a bit less transparent. I mean, a bit more transparent. So yeah, that looks pretty good, except I need to actually set the font. So here, again, I'll select all elements and do font family. And then I think I'll do that. Actually, no. I need to do Patois 1, and then I need to do sans serif if the Patois 1 doesn't load correctly. So yeah, you can see the font now. So that's pretty good. So now we would need some sort of interesting background. So I'm not really sure what to do for that. I'm just looking for where I'm drawing the particles, and here it is. Then I'll stick that in the menu screen. Then the menu screen, I'll do particles.push a new particle. Then it will be at a random x. And a random y. And then the radius will be 4. Wait, no. That is rotation, not radius. So the rotation will also be random. Then the velocity, we'll say, is c dot width over an arbitrary value. Then the size is 4. The color is red. And the time will last for 2 seconds. So yeah, you can see a bunch of particles on screen now. It looks pretty terrible though. So I guess this is probably not the way to do it. I guess what I should probably do is have it start loading. Then once it's done loading, we'll give it the menu screen. We'll set the menu screen to true. So that will be false. Then once it is done loading, I'll set menu to true. Is that what I called it? Hold on. Menu screen. Okay. So that should be menu screen. However, that means the menu has to be... Wait a minute. I forgot to clip on my microphone. Do I sound better now? I hope so. Anyways, this has to be hidden by default. And then, could the background of your menu screen be a map of the game? Ah, that's what I'm doing now. That's why I'm having it load first, and then do the menu. So then what I need to do in the menu screen, I need the document, I need to get an element, that would need to be the menu. So yeah, that's what I called it. So I need to get the menu element, and then set hidden to false. Okay, that did not work. Oh goodness. Okay, so I need to set drawn to false, or I guess not set drawn to true. Come on. There we go. Oh goodness. Is my browser going to crash now? I hope not. Radar rotation is not defined. That was weird. I don't really know what happened there. Okay, so it looks like it sort of worked, except it never actually hit anything. It should be hidden. Does hiding divs not work or something? I'm gonna look it up. Okay, I guess you use display none. So I'm just going to do style equals display none. So then in the sketch.js, I would need to do, this would need to be style equals nothing. And we'll just use the style in here. So let's try this. There we go. That seems to work. However, we need to actually draw the background. So I need to do, so I need to copy the code up here to draw the background. Then I guess I can get rid of this particles code. So yeah, you can see there's the background. However, I think it would be good if the menu had a background color of RGBA 000.5. So it was a bit darker. Okay. So that is good. So anyways, we would also need some sort of title. So I'll just have a paragraph element. Then, I don't really know what to call this game. I've just been calling it Radar Game as a temporary name, but I'll just use that here. So now you can see it says Radar Game here. Except it's to the side, which isn't good. And it's also black, which means you can't see it well. So I'm just going to move the color white to here. And then that should fix the color problem. Then we need to do flex direction column. So that should put it on top. Oh, I forgot to switch to the code. I just added this and this. And this. So you can see that fixed that. Except now it has to be a bit bigger. So I can just select all the paragraph elements and do text size. Wait, no. That should be font size then we can set that to maybe 5 VW, like in the play button. Yeah, so that's pretty good. Except I guess I didn't notice this before, but now the plain play button is black. So let's just copy this back into here. So yeah, we now have a kinda okay menu, which is pretty good. So I guess this should be start instead of play. And we should also display what level it is. So we can do P, and then I think we can set this to a class of big text. And this will just be normal text, I guess. And then here we can have a font size for the big text, and then a font size for the normal text. Then I guess we can say level 1 here. Okay, so there's a huge amount of space here between the radar game and level 1, which doesn't look very good. So yeah, you can see there's like a huge amount of space. I can't really point to it, but it's yellow things. If I'm not mistaken, what is that? Ah, here it is. It is the margin. So yeah, the margin is way too big. So what I can do here is for all paragraph, or I guess big text elements, say there is no margin. And that did not work. So that is not good. It says none is an improper or is an invalid property value. So I guess I can just set this to 0. That should work just as well. So yeah, you can see that already looks far better. However, I feel like there is still a bit too much space between the radar game and level 1. So I'm just going to set the top margin to 0. Whoops, 0. Then that should basically delete the space between them. So yeah, that looks pretty nice. Then you can see there is some space to the start button. So now, the problem is the start button doesn't do anything. So then, I guess I can say on click. So when you click it, we can run a start function. And also we should probably store the level. So where should I store the level? Let's do, doesn't really matter. Let's just do it here. Let level equal 1. So then I can have a function start, then I can, what can I do? So I need to hide the menu. So I guess I can do document.getElementById, then select the menu, then have the style equal, and we'll set the opacity to 0. And then we'll set a timeout for 200 milliseconds, or 0.2 seconds, which is how long it would take for the animation to play out. And then select this and set the display to none. So then when I click it, the menu should disappear, but nothing else should happen. And it did not do that. Okay, looks like it's flashing when I click it. So I guess that is something. I know. What I have to do is set the menu to false. And I guess drawn to true. So yeah, sort of started, except I need to actually do the radar thing. So I'm just going to copy all of this and stick that in here. And I guess I should put this after the animation is done. I should also probably close that. Hold on. Okay, looks like there's an error still. So what is it? Radar rotation is not defined. Okay, so what I have to do is move the let radar rotation thing outside of the start function. Then I guess I can just close this. Let's just open the console, and then start. So yeah, you can see it's working. So I can now start and restart levels, which is very good. So I guess I would also need some way to... Oh goodness, the particles are messed up too. Very messed up. Okay, let's fix that real quick. Okay, so when I have a missile, I see. These should not be adjusted for the camera position. And I might as well just like copy this and stick that here. And then copy this and stick that here. And then I can just get rid of this altogether. Then I might as well get rid of this too. So I guess the problem now is I don't want it to shoot a missile every time I click the start button. Okay, so how do I do that? How am I checking for when I click? I'm doing window.addEventListener. This should probably be like something else, like radar.addEventListener or radar-C. I have to do radar-C because the radar is drawn on top of the normal canvas, which means I'll always be clicking on the radar canvas and not the normal canvas where I'm drawing everything. So then, I guess that should be fixed. We should probably test that though. Okay, so now I can't send any missiles at all. And also, the right-click menu is coming up. So yeah, the context menu is still coming up. Okay, I guess radar-C is not defined. Why would that be? It's here. That's because I'm doing the object.js stuff before the sketch.js stuff. So, would anything break if I reverse the order? Chances are yes, but okay, the answer is yes. Okay, let's put this back in order. And I guess what I can do then is copy all of this and stick it in the sketch.js. Okay. There we go. Now it works properly. So that's very good. So then we would need some sort of way for the player to win. Which means we need some sort of target for the player. So I guess what we can do is have an airbase. So let's have a class airbase. Then we don't actually need to take in any values, and we don't want it to show up on radar, so it won't inherit the radar object thing. So I'll just say this.x equals terrain width times 0.95, and then this.y equals terrain height times 0.95. So then we can have a show function. So in the show function, we can do a draw.beginPath, then an arc. This is just going to be temporary drawing code. Then we'll have this.x camera, and we'll subtract the camera.x and draw it at this.y and subtract the camera.y. And then we'll fill that. Actually, I've only given an x and y position. I need to give it a radius 2, say 8, and a start and end angle. So 0 and math.pi times 2. So then, what we need to do is have an airbase object. So let airbase equals new airbase. And we don't need to pass any values, because it's sort of already doing that. However, it would also be good to determine whether it is on water or land. So I guess what we can do is just say let airbase, and then just have a variable. And then once we've done that, we can set airbase to a new airbase. Wait a minute. And then we can pass in a value of ocean. And then we'll just say let ocean equals, wait, no. We need this.ocean equals ocean. We would need this because you wouldn't draw an airbase in the ocean or an aircraft carrier on land. It just doesn't make all that much sense. So then you would have to determine whether the position is on land or ocean. So how can I do that? I think I can do height map index what I'd have to do is less than 0.05. Then I'd have to say air map index train width and height times 0.95. Then I'd also have to round this. Then I'd have to add the terrain height and then multiply, actually that needs to be times 0.95, then multiply that by the terrain width. So then, I guess we would have to have a fill color. So you can do draw.fill style equals RGB. Actually, I can just say, let's have this be red. So if it's on ocean, we can have it be red. But if it is on land, we can have it be blue. So then, we'd have to do in the draw loop airbase.show. So then we should have an airbase drawing, and it should know whether it's on land or not. Okay, we have an error. Ocean is not defined. Probably forgot a this dot. Whoop. Okay, let's just close that. Then okay, there are no errors. So let's speed up. And go to the other side of the map, where the airbase should be. And there it is. And it correctly says it's on land. Okay, so now I have to find a case where it's on ocean, which might take a bit of time. And it correctly says it's on land. Let's try this again. This might be a bit boring, depending on how long it takes. And it correctly determines that it is on land. and it correctly determines that it is on land. Same thing. Come on. You know what? I have a better idea. Let's just have it, let's just move it closer to the player. So let's do 0.5, 0.5, then again 0.5 and 0.5. So that should stick it in the middle of the map. So I shouldn't have to spend any time moving to see it. Okay. So it correctly determined that it's on ocean. So I think this is working. So I'll just set that back to where it was. So now I need to be able to bomb it. So that means I need to give it some amount of health. Let's give it a lot of health. Maybe 500. So you'd have to hit it like 5 times or something. And then, when there's an explosion, where is that code? Here. Then we can just concat the player and also the airbase. So then that can take damage. So then we need a damage function in the airbase. So then we can say this dot health is equal to itself minus the value it was given. So then we can say if this dot health is less than or equal to 0, then we can say menu equals true. So we'll send you back to the menu and then increments the level. And then, actually don't want to send you back to the menu quite yet. We'd want to have it reload the map. So that would be here. Then we would also want to check here if it has been drawn. So we'd have to say and drawn. And then same here. And same here. Then we should also call the restart function. And also set drawn to false. What else do I have to do? Then I'd have to do... Actually, I'm not sure. Actually, I think that's good. Let's try this. So there's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. There we go. So it doesn't seem to have actually set any data at all. Why didn't it generate a new map? I believe I'd also have to set in the menu. I need to do documents.getElementById, then select the level, then set the inner HTML to level, whatever the level is. Except I don't actually have anything that has an ID of level, so I have to give this the ID of level. Except that can't be capitalized. Not sure why it automatically did that. I do have a level variable, right? Yes. I forgot to switch to the code. It's not good. Okay, let's try to win again. Yeah, it doesn't look like it generated anything new. Didn't go to the loading screen. Um, what if I do press start? Looks about the same to me. It's kind of hard to tell though. It's definitely not generating properly. So why is that? Why didn't it even show the loading screen? Wait, why is menu screen true? I guess that's not gonna help. So this should set menu screen to false, which means it should draw the loading screen when you win. Yeah, it is false. So I'm just going to kill the airbase real quick. Okay, so it definitely needs to clear the radar once it's done that. So I'm just going to do radar dot fill rect, then I'll set that to I have it up here. Here it is. So I'll just stick that there. And then that will clear the radar when I restart. So I'm just going to check now if it's the same map, because it can be hard to tell sometimes. Okay, it's the same thing. So what's the issue? Oh, wrong file. I'm going to have it console.log the height map. So I can check if they're the same. Because if they are the same, then I know it's an issue in the train.js function. So these are the first 10 values. I'm just going to copy this and paste that there, so I can check back later. So I'm going to start and so I'm just checking back here. So yeah, that's 1, 0.86 and 0.73. Yeah, it's the same there. So I think the train that's being generated is exactly the same. So I don't believe it's an issue here. So it must be an issue here then. So the seed should be random. I'm wondering if it's a problem with this function, not function, library. So I should be allowed to set the seed multiple times. This is a const. That's probably not helping. So I think what I can do is do height map dot splice. Then I would start at 0 and go to height map dot length. Okay, so now it should be generating new maps. Okay. Bad typo. Okay, let's try this now. Okay, it's definitely a new map now. So that's very good. And I think this is a good time to stop for today. So I shall see you next time. And I might be... Actually, I'm not really sure what I'll be doing. I'll probably be making the map depend on the difficulty. Or I guess the level. So again, I